Good morning and happy snow day. You can see my dog is quite happy that I am home today as we lay in the sun and he watches the snow melt outside. I wanted to go through as many problems as I can of the ones that were on the board. This video will be for all the ones that can be solved without the calculator, and then I will make another one for with the calculator. So the first one that we're going to take a look at here is number 59. The proper notation for normal distribution with a mean of 250 and a standard deviation of 25. Now the proper notation is n of the mean, comma, standard deviation. So since our mean is 250 and our standard deviation is 25, it should look like that, making the correct answer C. 61. In a normal distribution with a mean of 30 and a standard deviation of 5, you'd find the largest proportion of cases between. So I went ahead and I put the mean in the middle, and I did a standard deviation of 5 for Q1, Q2, or sigma 1, 2, 3, and negative 1, 2, 3. And let's see where all these lie. So the first option is 20 to 30. Well, that's not even on our graph, so that's like way down here. That's going to be a very small amount. 10 to 15, even smaller, way down here on our curve. 25 and 35, well, that'll probably be right in here. And then 35 and 50, well, 35 is here, 50 is right here. And if we go ahead and shade that in, I think that's our winner. So the correct answer is D as in dog. Number 64. You have two normally distributed populations. Population A has a mean of 50 and standard deviation of 12. Population B has a mean of 75 and a standard deviation of 15. So I went ahead and drew both curves, and they have both of their means and standard deviations already written in. Now, I'm going to look at the differences between these, and we'll see which one should represent a bigger set of the population. So area below a 25 in population A. Well, let's say that 25 is about here. That'd be this area there. Area above 65 in population A. Well, let's say 65 is here. We're looking at that area there. Area between 75 and 90 for population B. Well, 75 and 90. That's that sliver there. Below 60 in population B. That's that area there. And then area above 80. Well, 80 is between 70 and 90. It's probably closer to here. So I'm looking at all that there. So if we compare the different sections, the answer E is going to give us the largest area under the curve. (74) A bivariate scatter plot has an r squared of 0.85. This means, well, r squared is the variation in y explained by x. So if we change 0.85 to a percentage, we're looking at 85%. So I can go ahead and get rid of answer A, B, and C. So if I read this now, 85% of the variation in y is explained by the changes in x, or 85% of the variation in x is explained by the changes in y. Well, the way the regression line works is that x explains y, so the variation in y is explained by the change in x. That makes the correct answer D as in dog. I'll come back to 75 with the calculator video. 80. A linear regression line indicates the amount of grams of the chemical CuSO4, the response variable that dissolves in water at various temperatures in Celsius, the explanatory variable x. The least squares regression line is y equals 10.14 plus 0.51x. Give the meaning of the slope of the regression line in the context of the problem. Well, our slope is 0.51. Remember, slope is rise over run, which means it's y over x, which is the number 0.51 divided by 1 in our case, if I make that a fraction. So we are talking about degrees on the x-axis and grams on the y. So let's look at these options. For each 1 degree rise in temperature, you can dissolve 10.14 more grams of CuSO4. 10.14 is not part of our slope, so that's not an option. B, if the temperature increases by 0.51, you can dissolve 1 more gram of CuSO4. Well, remember, y is on top, that's grams. We're talking about increasing our temperature by 1, not by 0.51, so it's not B. When you dissolve 1 more gram of CuSO4, then the temperature will rise by 0.51. That's saying that y affects x, and it's the other way around, so it is not C. For each 1 degree rise in the temperature, you can dissolve 0.51 more grams of CuSO4, and the E is you can dissolve 0.51 fewer grams. Well, our slope is positive, so that is going to be more, making the correct answer D as in dog. 53. The goal of the least squares regression is to compute a line that, well, least square regression is a line that minimizes the sum of the squared residuals. So if we have our scatter plot and we draw our line, the goal of the line is to make it so that when we draw the squares of our residuals, we make the smallest squares possible. That means that the correct answer is D as in dog. 86 and 87 are not going to be on the test. We did not talk about logs. I do apologize that they were in the review.